Hi, everybody. DM Kevin here,
And I'm Michael.
and we are here today to talk to you about something that is fairly new to the channel, and I hope everybody enjoys it. Today, we're going to be talking about Star Wars.
That's right, that we are.
And about 5 years ago, Michael and I got together and we tried a little online thing.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah.
We tried to channel out, and
Didn't go over. It just didn't really take off.
it started somewhere and then just kind of fell
Disappeared.
off the face of the earth.
So we're going to try something new here at Dungeon Crawl Gaming. We're not just about D&D. We're not just about board games. We're about all different types. So Star Wars being one of the things that we will be bringing to you in the near future is one of the things we'll be discussing today. About 5 years ago or 6 years ago, there was an online questionnaire
Yeah.
that was put out. And this questionnaire was for Star Wars fans. And it went over a variety of subjects. And we're going to discuss those with you today.
Yep.
I was around during the original trilogy. I saw Star Wars in the movie theater. And then,
I think my first Star Wars movie I saw in theaters was Revenge of the Sith, so I'm a prequels baby.
there we go. So we have the original and then we have the prequels. So we're coming at it from two different points of view on this questionnaire.
Yep.
So hopefully you enjoy.
All right, so the first question of the questionnaire is, would you rather be a Jedi or a Sith?
Well, for me, growing up with the original series, it's fairly easy. I think I would rather be the Sith, honestly. The Jedi looked like fun, but way too rule compliant.
I will give you that.
There were a lot of rules they had to follow. They couldn't be the bad boys. I would say if I had my choice, I go Sith.
Me being a prequels baby, I grew up with some of the things that you didn't, which is some of the expanded universe stuff. So I kind of have a smart aleck answer of Dark Jedi, because Sith a little bit too extreme for my taste. Jedi also too brown nosing each other. I like their tenets, but the Sith are a little bit too extreme for me. So I rather find a nice middle ground.
I see. So way to beat around the bush on that answer.
So my answer to this question would be yes.
Of course it would be. Yes.
Of course.
All right.
Because
So
it's me.
On to the next question. The next question is, oh, yeah, okay. Okay. So on to the next question, which is going to be favorite world.
That's a really tough one because I really like. For me, it's a tough one. For you, it's probably a dead simple Hoth. So growing up in the backwoods of Texas, plants like Kashyyyk and Felucia are
Indoor?
Always, it's maybe a little bit of indoor because forests, jungles, beaches, things like that, real nice. My kind of place.
So what is your favorite world?
Oh, Kashyyyk, hands down.
Kashyyyk. Yeah, go live in your treehouse.
Oh, I will on the beach as well.
Yeah, see, I am going to live on the eternal beach of Tatooine. It's hot. I know it's hot. It's dry.
Hot.
But you know what? Tatooine will always have a special place in my heart because that's the very first place we get to be in Star Wars.
Technically, it's a ship.
First world.
There you go. So the next question is, would you rather have a lightsaber or a blaster?
Easy. Blaster.
Dead easy. Lightsaber all the way.
Blaster.
I'd rather walk in there with my standard hilt and my Shoto and ready to knock some heads around, doing some force flips and things like that. And so, lightsabers hands down.
No, I think the weapon that comes to mind is the A280. It's the it's CFE. It's almost like a carbine, but it's almost like a carbine, but it's a blaster rifle. It could be used at medium or long range. We really got to see this in use in the Hoth system.
Yeah.
When the trench warfare was going on. There were a couple scenes that you actually got to see them holding these A280s, and they just look like they'd be fun guns to fire, fun blasters to have.
Oh, I will give you that. There's some like
yeah.
really cool, like fun blasting weapons, but having something that I can carry in my pocket and just like open a door if I need to.
Yeah, well, to each their own.
Yep.
And blasters are better. So we're gonna go on to the next one now. Favorite species.
All right, this is tough because I have a top 3 and I always never know which one is my favorite.
Always. Can't just pick one, huh?
No, I can't. So the 2 that are always tied for first are Twi'leks and Zabrax.
Wow, that's like night and day.
They're still near human, which is fine. Zabrax is cool because you can use the horns as literal weapons of just charging people. And Twi'leks, like they look really cool. They look really cool. And then Wookiees, you can never be mad at a giant walking carpet.
Very true, very true. But for me, I know this is a Star Wars galaxy. There are hundreds of species to choose from, but the one that I always go back to is human. Honestly, it's like for me in Star Wars, the humans always had a special place, mainly because it's like I related to them growing up. I related to the humans. I couldn't relate to a Rodian. I couldn't relate to a Wookiee. I could relate to Lando Calrissian. I could relate to Han Solo. I could relate to Luke Skywalker. So the human side of Star Wars always had a special place to me, and so that's why I would say that the humans will always be my favorite, with a Wookiee coming in very close second.
Yeah, I will give you that. So then the next one is, what is your favorite vehicle from Star Wars?
Okay, hands down. This is so easy for me.
Oh, I finally have an answer with only one answer.
Oh, that's finally good. Maybe we can get through this video. But my favorite vehicle, now we are talking space vehicles. We're not talking land, swoop bikes, things like that. We're talking like the big vehicles, like spaceships, things like that. Mine is the Imperial Star Destroyer. It has everything you want in a ship itself. It has the firepower. It has light speed. It has bombarding capabilities from high altitudes for planets. It can be used as a mobile garrison, as well as it can also be used as a diplomatic ship going in and stopping certain things. So the Imperial Star Destroyer is hands down my favorite.
Mine is similar to yours, but it's much smaller scale. So it's the YT-1300, the ship that Dash Rendar flew.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So I can maneuver around pretty well. So if I'm having to go through an asteroid field, I don't have to worry about just parking and like walking or flying all the way around. I can fly through it if I need to. I have the firepower if I need it. I have cargo space and I have passenger space. Everything that I personally would need to do any type of shenanigans in the Star Wars universe. So
excellent. Yeah.
YT-1300.
I can see that for sure. All right. So the next question: if you were a Jedi, who would you want your master to be?
That one is a tough one. But I think I know who I would want. For me, I'm pretty sure I would want Qui-Gon Jinn to be my master.
Okay, you're just copying me now. So, because that's exactly what I was going to say. Qui-Gon Jinn would just be the ultimate, and he is so laid back. He was even keel. If you even read the books or watch the movies, he was always on a level plane with his training. So it's like I think he would be a great master to have. Honestly, when he died, I cried. So
a little bit.
Yeah.
The next one is, if you are a Sith, who would you want your master to be?
Well, I'll answer this one first since I chose Sith at the beginning. So if I was going to be a Sith, even with the drawbacks of it, I would still want Darth Vader to be my Jedi Master.
Jedi Master?
Or sorry, Sith Master.
There you go.
My other half. But I would want him to be my Sith Master, mainly because it's like, I think as long as I could keep his emotions in check, I would learn a lot.
Yeah, and then going along with that, like, you have to make sure you're doing everything correctly, otherwise you'll get the boot.
Sure.
Or lightsaber.
Yeah, exactly.
Or choked. Very scary. For me, literally anyone but Sidious.
Yes.
I take that back. It's Darth Bane. Darth Bane or Darth Sana, hands down. One of the original two Bane Knight Sith. Just because they're not as brooding as your Old Republic Sith or your more modern Sith.
I see.
Yes.
All right, so we're going to move on to the next question, which is an interesting one.
Mm-hmm.
If you were a Sith, what would your name be?
That's a tough one.
No, it's not. It's really, really easy. Mine would be Darth Nevik. Easy. Spell my name backwards. Darth Nevik. Awesome name, Nevik. Come on. Nevik. Oh, who's coming to dinner? Nevik is. Whoa! Are you sure? Are you sure it's Nevik? Darth Nevik's coming to the planet. Oh my gosh! Yeah. Oh, yeah. Darth Nevik for sure.
I honestly don't think I would change my name if I was a Sith. Like, I wouldn't... Well, then again, Darth and all that gets weird. It's really tough. It's like a really hard... I'd probably want...
Darth
well.
Lehem.
No. We're not doing the Michael backwards thing. No.
Darth Lickum. Because you would
Nope.
lick him. You would be Darth Lickum.
No.
Who's coming to dinner? Darth Lickum? Quick, hide the silverware.
No. If anything, kind of like with Revan, just keep my name what it is. It would just be Darth Michael.
Darth Michael. I think there's a singer named Darth Michael.
Or Jade Winters, something along those lines. Just change my name. Just don't worry about Darth.
Darth Winter.
Maybe. That has a ring to it.
Winter is coming.
Okay, no, that has a ring to it. All right. Darth Winter. That's the one. That's the one.
Who's coming to dinner? Winter. Winter is coming.
Winter is coming.
That sounds familiar. It's like I should know that from somewhere.
I just popped off.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, so now So now we're going to get into the nitty gritty.
Mm-hmm.
What is your favorite Star Wars movie?
The first one I saw in theaters, always gonna have a special place in my heart. It's gonna be Revenge of the Sith.
There we go. I had a funny feeling about that one.
Yep.
Now mine is a little bit different because I'm going to go with the holiday, the Wookiee holiday,
The Wookiee Holiday
the
Special.
1977 Wookiee holiday special.
Okay.
That they put on TV. And I'm just joking, by the way, when I say that, because
Thank
I
God.
actually watched that live. I actually watched that on TV.
I didn't.
No, you didn't.
No.
But I watched that live on TV, and let me tell you, being a little kid, I was in awe. I thought it was awesome. It wasn't until much later that I realized that it was probably the most horrible Star Wars episode ever. But my favorite Star Wars movie, hands down, will always be Empire Strikes Back. Empire Strikes Back had such a great storyline, character development from the first movie onto the second movie. It was just phenomenal. You had the epic Hoth battle.
Yep.
You had the Bespin cloud scenes.
The Bespin fight with Vader and Luke. Still think that's one of the most iconic fights.
It was the fighting in that one was awesome, and so that will always have a special place in my heart. Is probably one of the best. Now, Michael, we know you're best.
Yep.
But what is your least favorite Star Wars movie?
I love them all equally. Some more equally than others, because we're Star Wars fans.
Sure.
Don't worry about it. But it would probably have to be the 2008 Clone Wars movie that launched the TV show.
Mm-hmm.
I saw it in theaters. Wasn't really too excited about it. The Clone Wars was never my favorite era of Star Wars, so it just kind of breezed over it. It's not my kind of cup of tea. What about yours?
My least favorite Star Wars movie of all times was Revenge of the Sith. Next question. If you wrote a novel, if you wrote a Star Wars novel, what would it be about?
So I would probably take another famous Lucas franchise and mix it with Star Wars a little bit.
Explain.
So I really liked some of the stories that where Jedi or ordinary people found old relics of ancient Sith Lords. So probably take a little bit of that Indiana Jones kind of vibe and then throw it in there with Star Wars.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So we have to worry about these rising academy of Sith or something like that, based off this old relic with a Sith spirit attached to it. And now the current Sith of the time, not sure what era I would want it to be in, but they would have to come in and try to fix that problem.
I see. That sounds like that would be an interesting novel. My novel would be written about let's just say a person who liked to build things. We'll just call him Marx Polo.
Okay.
Marx Polo is a shipwright who loves building ships, lives in the outskirts of Mos Eisley's spaceport,
Okay.
and just basically is his story about how he survives in this hostile life. He's heard of this Luke Skywalker. He's heard of the Empire, but he builds ships, and then he is summoned by the rebellion to build ships for them, and becomes their head shipwright. I think that'd be really cool
It'd be interesting.
because nothing was ever really written about any kind of shipwrights
Not that I'm aware of.
that I can remember. No.
Not that I'm aware of. So the next question is, what is your favorite Star Wars movie soundtrack?
Okay, for me, this is actually pretty easy. It's the original Star Wars. And the reason I say the original Star Wars movie is that this is the original John Williams. He didn't have anything to go off of. He was making the soundtrack up just from the heart,
Yep.
and so I did the original Star Wars.
The original Star Wars, I will agree with you there. It is an amazing soundtrack. It's, in my opinion, the most iconic soundtrack out of all of them. But my personal favorite would have to be Empire Strikes Back. We get the classic Imperial March, which I know every
One of my
Imperial
favorite-
fan is
One of my
they love.
my favorite, honestly, but the overall soundtrack, that's what I was going after.
Yeah. And then for my stories, I like them to be a little bit darker and have this like ambiguous ending. So the Empire Strikes Back had that feel almost throughout all of it, even
Yes.
with those training scenes on Dagobah. So hands down, my favorite soundtrack.
Very nice. Very nice. Okay, and with that being said, and we're going to wrap this up with this last and final question. What is the worst thing about the EU? Now, I'm pretty sure I know your answer, so I'm going to answer first.
Yep, go ahead.
I'll let you go on your little rant here in a minute. But for me personally, the worst thing about the EU is the number of books, printed, period, end of story, by every known author known to man, putting out a book about Star Wars or Star Wars related material. Now, if I had the next 30 years to read books nonstop, I still would not be able to read the whole EU that's been printed out on hardback to this point. Don't get me wrong. These stories are great. The story is about how Lando Calrissian and Han Solo got over on a hut. Okay, great, super, that's awesome. But to me, it's like there's just too many. I don't know where to begin. I don't know where to start. It's like, what authors do I choose to read from? It's just kind of mind numbing to me about how many there are. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I turn the mic over to Michael at this point, and I wish you all good luck in listening to this. Michael, what is the worst thing about the EU?
Why does everything have to be about the Clone Wars? Why can't there are literally so many other timelines that we can use? Why does everyone have to write about the Clone Wars? We can almost pinpoint the exact hour things have happened in the Clone Wars. But the Dark Times, the height of the Empire between episode 3 and 4, we have like what, 7 stories? 7, 8 stories total? I can keep going, but I'm going to stop.
Okay, good. All right. Well, I think we know where he stands on that one.
Too much Clone Wars.
Hey, folks, this has just been a taste of what you're going to get from us in the near future. But if you have any Star Wars related questions you have for us that you want us to answer, feel free. You have over a lot of years experience here, a few years experience over here.
It's still a lot.
It's still a lot. But I mean, we have over 40 years of experience in Star Wars and Star Wars related material that we would love to pass on to y'all. So if you have any questions, put them in the comments below. Please like and share this video as much as possible to let us know that you care about what you're hearing today.
My name is Michael.
I'm DM Kevin.
May the Force be with you guys.
Always.